Eric Priest on tonight. Eric Priest taking on Ryan Boz. You know about these guys. You've worked with them all over the place.
I sure do.
Ryan Boz, you probably gave him his start.
I sure did.
I love it.
Ryan Boz, the monstrous Ryan Boz, the alpha male Ryan Boz. He is a legend. He is a former world champion. He is a monster.
That's one bad dude. This is the other Boz in Chicago wrestling, and not to mention Eric Priest, who's trained, actually, didn't he train the Tomasellis who were here last week?
Aye.
Had a big hand in that. I think that's Tomaselli's told us last week.
All I know is when Eric Priest first came rolling in, he came into the infamous Lunatic Wrestling Federation bump factory, but a young man, and he looked like Das Wunderkind. He looked like Alex Wright from WCW.
I hope he didn't dance like him.
We called him Das, and he did dance like him because we would call him Das. But that was many years ago, and Eric Priest is going on to become a major superstar in the Chicago wrestling scene. And him versus Boz, what more can we say?
Yeah, we've seen him on WWE TV before. Eric Priest always puts on a great show. Ryan Boz, two of the biggest bulls in Chicago wrestling going at it right here tonight on the Mat.
That's
not Joey's real voice.
He is the epitome of masculinity, the pimp of the Midwest, the man who puts the X in sex, the gold standard of professional wrestling, the king of stand, the dancing destroyer, the count of Monte Cristo, one half of the NWA Midwest Tag Team Champions, the underwear model,
Now, I don't know about you, but I think Eric Priest should pay Joe Eastman to go on the road with him and do that intro every night.
That is quite an intro.
from Chicago, Illinois, weighing 255 pounds,
Ryan Boz, the monstrous Ryan Boz. I know I told the story before. I'm going to tell it again. He told me one night he could sit there and eat 26 White Castle cheeseburgers, and he didn't do it. He ate 26 White Castle cheeseburgers, 2 large fry, a chicken ring, and a shake. I couldn't believe it, but he did it, and he did it right in front of me.
He bested what he was going to actually told you he was going to eat. He ate more.
Yes.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it, and then he did it.
And he still stays in good shape.
He sure does.
Ryan Boz locking up with none other than Eric Priest. You've seen him on WWE TV. We've seen him on the Mat. You'll see him at IWA Mid-South. He, I think, started out MSPW back in the day for quite a while.
His first match was like Bloodbath or some LWF thing in Lamont.
Wow.
He got a brief start. I think he wrestled the Mimic, and then he went on to do all these other things.
Yeah.
And carve out a name for himself.
As he surely has done.
Apparently Boz has some kind of problem. I don't know what happened.
Gotta love this NWA Midwest footage. Billy, always top quality, always shot well, great lighting. Who sends us this stuff, Nick? NWA Midwest. Who sends us this footage? Ed Schumann. Wow.
Schumann.
Big shout out to Eddie Schumann.
Nick didn't know for a second. He was confused. I was thinking that like perhaps it just was rocketed to the On the Mat studios and in a very Superman-like spaceship.
Yeah, there you go.
There was the NWA footage.
Yeah, there's like a tube, see?
Just a tube.
Yeah, well, he puts it in at the bank out in McHenry, and it magically shoots over here.
Shoots over there.
Yeah. What's it say on the back of Eric Priest's tights, Billy?
It says pimp.
Oh.
And a pimp is a guy who has women in like a stable, essentially.
Right.
And he makes a percentage off of what the women make for having sex with men.
Kind of like you do with action figures.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I got to get a pair of pants that say action figure pimp on them.
Who's that little balding gentleman on the side? Is that his manager? That wasn't
That's
Kingpin.
not
The Kingpin. Chris Hedford interjecting himself here. Passing me a bad penny. Ryan Boz taking on Eric Priest. Uh-oh, Roman Knuckles test of strength.
Roman Knuckles?
That's it.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Roman Knuckles, Russian fingers.
What?
You know, you don't remember your first date, Billy?
No.
You tried to get to second base and she didn't want you there?
Oh, man.
Yeah, Roman fingers, Russian hands. You know the time.
Well, my first date went a little bit different than that.
Oh, you probably hit a home run. You big, tall, lanky son of a gun, you.
I hit a couple of them.
Yeah, I bet you weren't even out of grade school yet, you bugger.
No.
You're a little bugger, you are. All right. That's it. All right. Enough of Billy Wack's sex life. Back to the match. Big elbow by Priest trying to get out of this hold. Whips him into the ropes.
Whoa.
Shoulder tackle by Boz. One big dude. I'll tell you, this is a nice even matchup we got here. Both these guys evenly matched.
There are two big guys slugging it out, duking it out, and I have no idea which way this match is going to go.
Popped him in the face. Out goes Priest to the floor.
Now you can't see it, but on the far side of the ring, in the back, there's actually this boric acid pit.
Whoa! Out he goes! Man, if he'd have been on the other side, they'd have flew into that boric pit. So they use the boric acid pit too.
Boric acid, and there's nothing but jagged car pieces from like a junkyard on the other side. Very dangerous on that far side.
Right, and right next to it's the tar pit, and they have a saber-toothed tiger and a dying mastodon.
Yes.
Yeah, that's rough stuff. You don't want to go there. You want to talk about extreme.
Ooh. You can hear those bassy, thudding kicks, courtesy of the underwear model Eric Priest.
Man, he's really taking him apart out on the floor. Rolls in and breaks the count. Smart move. And gets back up to get kicked again, does Ryan Boz. Ryan Boz needs to get the heck away from Eric Priest and take a breather.
You know,
Something.
I'm always leery of guys fighting out near the crowd. And, I mean, an elbow can go the wrong way, a fist can go the wrong way, and some kid could be...
Whoa, wait a minute. This is the guy, the kingpin of the LWF. Your group used to throw people out into the stands. You didn't care about an insurance policy. You had fans giving the wrestlers weapons.
I cared about the insurance policy, and I cared about the fans getting hit. But you cannot control the action in the ring, and especially if the action spills to the outside, Richard T. Sin, there's nothing you can do. I would frown upon it, but sometimes it happened.
You're the original lunatic.
I am, but nevertheless, I mean... Oh, whoa!
Oh, what a kick by Boz! This is getting good, as we knew it would. Fans solidly behind this match. I don't think they're really even cheering for one guy or the other as much as they're just into this match.
And this match isn't about the winner's purse or the pay window, Richard T. Sin. There's the ranking system, and each one of these men is trying to claw their way over the other to be closer to that world title shot.
That's it, and that's why the NWA is such a well-designed group to work for, and it's also kind of an inter-promotion with IWA Mid-South, is it not? A lot of the same guys. Certain belts are defended from NWA Midwest or defended at IWA Mid-South shows, so that always makes it interesting. Some of the stuff you'll see from NWA Midwest, if you go to an IWA Mid-South show out there in Midlothian, you might see some of these great stars at those shows, right, Billy?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Gotta love it.
It's good when wrestling companies work together.
That's it. That's what we're about here on the Mat, shining the spotlight on all of them. Independent wrestling, wrestling of old, whatever it is, this is our forum for pro sports in the Chicagoland area. The pimp, as it were, Eric Priest working on the legs, trying to take out each wheel one at a time from Ryan Boz.
And here at On the Mat, we are accepting all kinds of tapes. If you have tryout tapes, if you have promos you cut to the camera and you want to send them in to see if they'll air, I don't know what the official email address is, but you can send an email to me and we'll hook something up. lunaticwrestling@hotmail.com.
That's good.
Please, we need all kinds of, we're looking for all kinds of footage.
Hey, Billy, I've got some fantasy camp footage that I shot years ago. I can really embarrass some workers if we showed that.
Really?
Yeah, it might be funny.
Well, that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about.
We're going to show your fantasy camp interview right here. Remember when you came to fantasy camp that one year?
I never came to fantasy camp.
Oh, I thought
I didn't come to fantasy camp.
You look like you.
No.
Well, you've come light years since your tryout at fantasy camp.
But I never was at fantasy camp.
Oh, okay. Eric Priest wrapping up that leg, going for some sort of a variation of the figure four. Oh, look at that. That's a punishing maneuver. After all the punishment that's been doled onto the legs of Ryan Boz, to set him up in something like this has got to be torture.
But look at Boz. Resilient Ryan Boz. He's fighting it out.
That's a tough customer.
Oh, yeah, he is. He is.
Whoa, man, that's it. He's going to fight his way back. Punching him in the head, trying to pull those... Oh, here he goes.
Anytime a man uses his skull as an offensive weapon against his opponent, I'm a big fan.
That's it. Ryan Boz barely standing and able to get a double axe handle out. Still fighting with his fist, but nonetheless.
That leg is gone.
Yeah, he is in bad shape. Priest, I tell you, Eric Priest wrestling some sheer science right here tonight on OTM. Uh-oh, this could be ugly. The brutality of it all. Pulls down the knee pad even. Oh, man! Just threw it right across. And what a view we got of that, Billy Whack.
This is definitely good camera work. Props to the production team at NWA Midwest.
Good stuff. Oh, look at that. Boz pulls out a kick. Man, oh man, and now he's fighting for his life as Ryan Boz. Chop to the chest by Boz. He's hulking up Ryan Boz, but down he goes, much to no avail.
And you can see right in the front row there, J-Tron. There he is, clapping away.
J-Tron? No, that's that kid from ChicagoWrestling.com.
It is.
He goes by J-Tron,
He
too?
goes by J-Tron.
I've seen him before.
He's a good guy. He schooled me on a bunch of Abraham Lincoln facts over the weekend.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh! Look at that. That unknown manager coming in there and dropping the leg right across the apron.
Does anybody know what his name is?
No, he's not the Kingpin. I know that much. But the other guy is Todd Girth. That's it, Todd Girth.
Todd Girth.
And he doesn't have much girth about him. He's pretty skinny.
No.
There's a lot of girth to that beard.
I know.
How old is that kid? Why does he wear that beard like that?
Todd Girth?
Yeah, is he trying to look like he's 60 years old?
Wait, Girth?
Tell him to shave. He might get a girlfriend.
You mean J-Tron in the front row? Or are you
No,
talking
Todd Girth. He needs to take a shave.
I haven't seen Girth lately.
Well, Todd Girth, this is Richard T telling you, take a shave, man. Do some sideburns like Billy Whack. Get creative. Jump and jump.
No, look at
this. Look at this guy.
Is that a members only jacket?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Is that a clip-on tie?
No, I know. That's Brian Zenna. That's who that is.
That's not Brian Zenner.
That's Brian Zenna without the toupee. No? Okay. Well, I tried.
Brian Zenner doesn't... I think Brian Zenner's done with wrestling also.
Oh, okay.
He was the precursor to the Superfed, that guy. That guy came in and tried to create this whole big mess.
Yeah, sounds like it was a mess.
Tried to steal guys away. He raided almost our entire roster. And then I went to see a show of his, and most of my guys were working on his show. And I just went to check it out. It was one of
Zenner, right?
Zenner, Brian Zenner, MCW, one of his first shows. And little did I know, but like our street team had flyered his show in the parking lot. I didn't know this, so I go up to meet Brian Zenner. True story, Brian. I doubt you're even in the wrestling game anymore, even paying attention. But if you are, you're ridiculous. So anyway, he tried to steal all our roster. I go to the show to like shake his hand, and he shoots me a dirty look, and he's all rah, 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 and then he was all mad at me, and then it started this big war, and I didn't even know that anybody had even flyered the parking lot with flyers for our show, but my show was his show, essentially, because we had the same roster, and he came in and tried to steal everybody, and he was mad at me. Brian Zenner, you're ridiculous. That's all I got to say.
Street team?
Street team.
You had a street team.
You had a street team.
That ought to be a Saturday morning cartoon. Billy Whack and the street team.
Billy Whack and the street team.
There you go. Gotta love it. We will flyer your parking lot. Watch out, because here comes the lunatics. Thank you very much.
We did.
That's good stuff.
I don't know what he was so mad about. He had taken a bunch of the guys. Whatever.
Wow. The wrestling wars in Chicago, as it were.
I was such a victim. I was such a victim of them all.
You were a catalyst, Billy Whack, and that's why you're here to tell the tale on the mat. The smoke is cleared, and Billy Whack stands alone with Richard T. here on OTM, bringing independent wrestling into the living rooms of fans everywhere.
This is true, but I wouldn't say the smoke has cleared.
Uh-oh. Hey, it still might be burning. Watch out for Billy Whack.
Wait, Eric Priest, look at it. Oh, no.
Man, that didn't turn out the way he wanted it to.
And see, that's what happens when the sweat builds up on those ropes. Sometimes it gets a little greasy, and these athletes cannot perform to their full capacity.
Greasy. Uh-oh, Ryan Boz still on bad legs. Coming up, he's in there. He's punching away. Ryan Boz, look at him go. Whips him in. This could be it. Uh-oh, big slam by Boz. Gets it for the 1, the 2. Only a 2.
I thought that was it. Boz thought that was it.
Boz is ready. Boz is ready. If he can stand up long enough, he is ready to fight. That's it. Here he goes.
Oh, no, wait. Eric Priest.
Uh-oh. Gets him up there. Ryan Boz down too quick. Got him set up. Oh, man. Drove him head and neck first into the mat. Here comes this wily manager again. What's he doing in there? Distracting the ref. Wait a minute. Boz says, hey, come here, pal. Cox back. He's going to give it to him. This is it.
What's your name, man? What's your name?
Here comes Priest. Priest just nailed his own manager and gets rolled up. Gets rolled up by Boz for the 1, the 2, the 3. This is it. A big, big win for Ryan Boz. Ryan Boz, we thought his legs were taken out. Who'd have thunk it that he could pull this thing out? Nonetheless, a big, big win at NWA Midwest for Ryan Boz.
And I'm sure he's off to celebrate with 26 White Castle cheeseburgers.
Woo! Sounds like the breakfast of champions.